What exactly is the Daniel fast? Is it really as biblical as it's made out to be, or is there more to it than that? Today, we're going to explore the origins, the context, and the modern-day application of the Daniel fast. I'm Pastor Ted Shuttlesworth, and at ChristianFastingGuide.com, I'm equipping believers with the tools to fast and pray effectively. Fasting's a powerful spiritual discipline, but understanding its biblical roots is key to practicing it in a way that honors God. Let's break down the Daniel fast and what it's really about. The idea of the Daniel fast comes from two specific passages in the book of Daniel. The first is in Daniel chapter 1, where we find Daniel and his friends in Babylon. They're taken into the king's service and offered food and wine from the king's table. But Daniel, wanting to avoid defilement, asks for a different diet, just vegetables and water for 10 days. And after this trial period, Daniel and his friends are healthier and stronger than everyone else eating the rich royal food. Then in Daniel chapter 10, we see Daniel in a time of mourning and prayer. For 3 weeks, he abstains from meat, wine, and pleasant food, as the Bible calls it. He's seeking wisdom from God, and by the end of the fast, he receives a profound vision. So what's happening here? In both instances, Daniel chooses to abstain from certain foods for a set time. It's a form of fasting, but it's not the complete absence of food like we see in other biblical examples. It's a partial fast, meaning some foods are still consumed. Modern interpretations of the Daniel fast typically last 21 days and focus on eating fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and water. But they avoid meats, sweets, dairy, and processed foods. But it's not just about diet, or it's not supposed to be. It's often accompanied by prayer, worship, and intentional focus on God. The idea is that the physical discipline mirrors a spiritual pursuit. However, this raises an important question. Is the Daniel fast something every Christian should practice? And does following Daniel's example guarantee the same outcomes that he experienced? That's where things get a little complicated. While Daniel's fasts were clearly tied to specific purposes in his life, like maintaining his purity in a pagan culture or seeking revelation from God, modern versions can sometimes lose that focus, becoming more about physical health or following a trend. It's also worth considering the potential dangers of taking on a fast like that without proper preparation or understanding. Fasting, including the Daniel fast, requires careful thought and a clear spiritual purpose. Without that, it can risk becoming an empty ritual. So if you're interested in learning more about fasting and how to approach it biblically, I've created a free resource called the Fasting Starter Kit. It's a practical guide to help you understand the purpose of fasting and how to do it effectively. You can download it for free by clicking the link in the description. Also, in my book, The Complete Guide to Biblical Fasting, you'll learn how fasting breaks strongholds, unlocks God's favor, and releases supernatural power in your life. Whether you're new to fasting or experienced, this book will equip you with biblical insights, practical tools, and 100 prayer points to transform your spiritual journey. You can click the link in the description to get your copy today. Before you even think about starting the Daniel fast, there's some things you need to hear. Have Christians been lied to about this fast? Could the Daniel fast actually be dangerous? Not to your health, but to your spiritual growth. In this video, I'm exposing the truth about why this popular fast might be doing more harm than good. You need to hear this before you take another step. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss any of this.